up, everybody? I hope you're doing well. Welcome to this week's forecast for the week of the 22nd of June through to the 26th of June. It is currently Father's Day, so just a happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Keep doing us men proud and looking after your kids. Going to be a little bit of a different forecast this week. Initially, I just want to start off with a bit of top-down analysis for EU, just kind of breaking down how I break it down, and then see how we can make some trade decisions off the back of that. I haven't really done too much overlooking on the charts this weekend. I do have a few trades lined up that I'm interested in, so we have a quick look at those. But yeah, that's about it really for this one. I did go over quite a lot in the recap video for the trades we took, and a lot of sort of the bias that I have for those pairs is still the same for this week. So we're going to see if we can get in any. Well, I think there's going to be some good trades this week, to be honest with you. I'm quite looking forward to the week. But looking at the EU chart, we've got the naked chart in front of us right here. So the first thing I always want to do is, in terms of lines and all this sort of thing, I only keep full solid horizontal lines for daily levels. I find this just to be less confusing for me because I am looking to just get in on these levels essentially. H4 levels are kind of just used to mark lows and highs at the intraday levels. But other than that, my main sort of points that I aim for are daily levels. So looking at this chart, we're kind of just looking to line up where points in daily levels where we can see a lot of pivots, and where it's acted as either support or resistance here. So you can see resistance, support here, resistance. We've had resistance here. We've had the pair supported here, supported here, supported here, and it has been quite a strong level going through. So mark that one up. Next one we want to mark up is just these highs here. You can see how this has also acted as support throughout here. And then next level, definitely down here. So this is the 1009 area. Again, you can see how this has been a sort of key range here for the pair. Fighting support multiple times here, being held as resistance here, and it has acted as a resistance point quite a lot here. So maybe we just drag that down. So we're there. And then the next level that I think comes into play will probably be down around here. Yep. And then finally, yeah. So you can see we have these levels in play for EU, which is kind of our main sort of target entries, and where the daily volume is. So I always look at the daily volume just because that, is large accumulation of volume to be able to trade intraday as well. So that's I don't do too much on the monthly or the weekly, to be honest with you. Sometimes I line up trend lines or anything like that, but I mainly focus on daily and downwards. Okay, cool. So we've got all of our level up. Sorry about that, guys. We got all of our levels marked up here. So now we want to start just looking for any trends that we may see in the market. We always put our magnet on here just so we can, so we can see. So got a bit of a channel forming here. Not as pretty of a channel as I would like, but it does give us sort of the range which we're working with. Where we're really looking for this week is between these two daily levels here. So what we're going to do, we're going down into the 4 hour. You can see these levels coming into play. You want to just... I have a bullish bias for EU. I think we're just in a corrective phase right now. I think a lot of the dollar strength is getting pushed out at the moment, and we are looking at some strength coming out of the euro. Also, I think, like I said, dollar weakness. So we have this sort of descending wedge coming into play here on EU. So what I would be looking for as a buyer, ideally, is a close above here. That would be a nice... And then coming back to test these highs up here. So how are we going to get that is basically we're going to look on a lower time frame. We'd look for some sort of corrective structure coming into play off these trend line structures here. So we would be looking for almost, if I do a little arrow, if we break here, it'll be easier to do it with Fibonacci retracement even. We find some support here, and then if we come up, retest, and then we come back down, but then we don't continuation here, and we form a new lower high, higher low, and then we break out to form a new higher high, and then come back down, retest maybe the top of this fib level here. Just draw it down here, and then we could come up like that. Ideally, that's what I'd like EU to do. I think it's definitely potential to do it. What we may find then is, I'm just going to try and do some predictive, remember it's the market, right? So we can't predict everything, but I like to see if I can make up scenarios in my head for a situation like this unfolding. So it's always interesting anyway. So that's my prediction. We're going to have a bounce up there to the fib level there. We're going to come down here, retest the 62 fib level of this potential move. That hasn't happened yet, keep in mind. So I'm completely making shit up right now. But if it does happen, that's what I'd be looking for, is a new higher low to form in this area around here, and then a continuation to break this descending trend line coming out of this sort of wedge pattern, and then some continuation to the upside on that. That would be the ideal sort of structure for EU. Could be quite interesting coming into that. Alternatively, what we could see is if we break these levels here, we could definitely see a move down to the 1.098, 1.099 area. So there's two basic setups that we could be looking to play here on EU. Now, this hasn't quite, I wouldn't call this a false breakout. We've had no close above it and then a rip down. So I think that this, I'm not even sure if this is a channel forming, but if it is, it could be an interesting play here, as we could, push to test highs up here on a correction, on a continuation pattern. We could take the bounce up here, and then slowly we could see it come up and just retest this channel resistance up here potentially. So that's two ways to kind of look at EU panning out. That's what I'll be looking at in terms of entering the trades. But you see, it's super simple. There's no real reason to just throw loads of shit everywhere on the chart. It's not really relevant. We could throw Fibonacci up here just to see. You can see if we're facing a pullback here, we could still, we've got the 50 fib here lining up with this level of now support on the turncoat of it being a resistance level. So buyers could definitely kick in here, but we could definitely see the breakdown down to touch these lower fib levels here. The 79 extension lining up beautifully with this key level here that has been a key level throughout this year. Essentially, we can see it's really held the pair down here until this. Once we broke this level, we had this huge breakout. So it could definitely come down to retest any of these levels here. So the key will be this 1.114 area. Anything that we see price action wise from here is going to be where we want to be paying. Oh, little squiggly line. That's not what I wanted. This is really where I want to be paying attention. This sort of level here. If we block it down to the bodies of that ball, you see these two bodies kind of line up. So that's the zone I'd be looking for some, if it does come down to here, we get rid of these arrows here, there's still potential for it to come on a much deeper sort of pullback here. Get rid of them. We could definitely come on a deeper pullback and definitely touch this support area before we see this bullish move up here. So we just got to watch it, just watch market structure, see how it comes comes around and see if there is potential. But the key is going to be this break of this trend line structure, I'll be honest with you. So that's where you're going to want to be paying attention if you're looking to go long on EU, in my mind. Aussies still holding that. Went over that in the recap. Still liking longs on this. We're just too early. We just wait to see where price action comes from here. We just got to monitor it really. But keep in mind we do have this level here, which could be of interest. Obviously the 62 fib. We could see some bullish. I'm just going to be watching those two levels really. We can see here lining up with our sort of where we've seen some consolidation in the past, and also some support on the pair has been on the back of that. So I'll be watching. I'm favoring buys. That's just my bias for AU. So for AUD, same thing. Just look to buy down here. Maybe get in a short here. There's not enough room for me though, to be honest with you. EU, we've just looked at that. That was a great sell. As soon as it broke down out of this trend line, it was lights out for GN. So where could we be going next? I know it's pushing it, but a lot of times you draw these trend lines and they don't look like they're going to be anything. What's going on here? And then they do end up holding value. So that could definitely find some resistance, some support here on this pair. We're still within this sort of box here, but if we break down from here, could definitely drop down to test low should it break that trend line structure. GB is under a lot of pressure at the moment. I think with long-term equities will recover. New Zealand's going to pick up some pace. So if we break this trend line and we get a daily close below it and a daily retest, I see no reason why that won't tank and continue on down to those levels down there once we break this trend. But again, I haven't done enough analysis on the pair. That's super rough. So I wouldn't, just jump in on that. That's for sure. GU, like I said, I'm looking for, you could definitely, if we get a bounce here, we could see, we might be able to play that. If we get a bounce there, but I'd be looking short on the retest of any of these, like I said, any of these levels here, whether it be this horizontal resistance, this channel resistance now. But, I do think we're going to get a bounce here and maybe play the range even a little bit. We will need to break this low before entertaining anything down here, that's for sure. So that's, look at that. New Zealand CAD, I think I like this trade for the week coming up. We've got this trend line structure, which you can see. It's acted as support, breakdown, resistance. We've broken back above it, and we're coming up to test it again on a daily level now. We still haven't retested any of this broken trend line structure here. So this little consolidation phase, you can see how it's consolidated across at a horizontal level coming into our trend line structure. That usually means that there's a good chance that we could get a breakdown here. And just another corrective move down before a potential leg higher. So I'll be looking to sell this pair on the break of this trend line. My targets will be in line with the 62 fib retracement, and also maybe the 0.75 retracement. You can see these active key levels again. So the 62 fib has been, massive support for the pair here. Resistance again, turncoat broken down, but sellers kicked in here. We can see this fib here. It was acted as resistance. It's acted as support quite a number of times for the pair. So ideally, this is where I'm going to be looking to get in and getting some profits on that short. So that's one short shaping up for next week. Again, I think it's just a corrective move before another leg higher. Very much think that's the case for. So we'll have to see. But I do like that as a short coming into next week. I do like this coming into a short next week as well. Break these lows here, break this channel, what would be channel support, but I don't think it's really going to hold too much on value on it. We get a breakdown, and then we can retest this trend line here. You can see it's in line with a number of our lows here. It's going to act as support coming in quite heavy here. But we do need to be careful because the 0.5 fib up here as well, we can see, if I put my horizontal ray, we can see that's going to act quite heavy as a support as well. So we're looking for profits from there down to there, should it break this channel. So should it break this support line here, break this level here, which has held it up, then I will be looking for shorts to get in just to catch this retracement before another leg higher potentially. I don't think the Kiwi or the Aussie are going to flop. I think that they're as a risk-on currency in terms of AUD, CHF, AUD, JPY. I think they are setting up for another leg higher. Personally, it's just a case of making sure we catch it right. UCAD covered that already. UJ, I'm still looking for a buy. I will get back in on this should we break. If we go into the hourly. Should we break these highs and close above them, then that's where I'm going to be looking to get in, just so we can find some, this level here. If we can find some support above this level, that's where I'd be looking to get in, and then obviously retest this level up here. That would be nice. I wouldn't mind that. So let's see how that week goes. Let's see if we can close above there. Because then, gold. Are we looking on gold? Oh. Gold. Yeah, gold. I mean, I'm liking buys once we break these levels up here. This sort of these highs. But more importantly, this high here is where I really want to break. But, it's looking quite bullish after Friday. Definitely looking like it's a good opportunity to buy. So if we can break here, break this line, find some support here on this area, then definitely going to look to get in on buy there. Not with that big of a stop. Bring it to there. Shouldn't bring it down to there. And then we could definitely come up to create new highs and test this channel resistance up here. Looks like a good trade to me with gold, to be honest. That's what I'd be looking for, those levels. On a daily, we found support. We never broke back down beneath this level here. So we have just been stuck in this range a little bit. But once we break this range, it's going to make new highs for sure. So it's going to be quite an explosive move as well. So it'll be good to get in on that. EURUSD looking like it's setting up for a breakout here as well. You can see we're still hugging all these trend line structures. So we may come down here to retest this level here, but if we continue to stay above these trend lines, then we could still get some more upside. AD Chef, this is another one I was liking just based on these simple levels here. Coming into this trend line structure here, should we see a break of it, I'll be looking to sell any sort of retest of these of this level here, which we can see is acted just this minor swing low here. This is the key level we need to break essentially, but I think if we get a trend line break here, we can look for sells on any retest of broken support, and then look for a continuation down to these levels of support down here, keeping in mind that we do have these levels to break along the way. But I think we're setting up for a little corrective phase on some of these ones for sure. But we may not get it that deep. Let's be honest. It may go here for 100 pips. May just retest these levels here. But either way, we're just looking to get in should there be a trendline structure break. Same as Aussie CAD, we got some consolidation coming in here, which is what we're looking for. I like that because it basically means that we can get a pullback now because buyers have failed to kind of break out anymore. So they're going to probably look to take some profits on that. Again, we've just got these daily trendline structures that we have broken out of. We can see that this level here, if we just make it a little less extreme, coming into these Fibonacci levels here, that's where we could be looking to take some profits. Should we break these lows here, get a little break, we can break these lows and then just give us a little retest, so come down to like here, and then obviously up and then down to retest this trend line structure or the Fibonacci levels around about that trend line structure. That's where I'd be looking to catch that and then take profits. I don't think this looks like a false break. A false break would have come down already. Buyers have held the pair up here, so it does show that there are buyers there. They may just get a little exhausted before picking up some more here, so we just need to keep that in mind. But I think that looks good for a short before a potential another leg higher for sure. So definitely going to jump into that should we get an opportunity. That's really it, guys. It's a bit of a short one this week. Like I said, I covered a lot in the last one in the recap for the week, so I just kind of want to give myself a little break leading into market open, get some rest. I won't be entering any trades necessarily in Asian unless we do see some of these Aussie pairs break down from the trend line structures that I was talking about. But yeah, guys, looking forward to the week. Make sure you tune in to the Telegram group, jump in there. I got another exciting project which I'm working on, which I should be getting started tonight. It's going to be a little podcast with a really good friend of mine and also an incredible trader. He was probably one of the main reasons why I started taking this a lot more seriously, and I'm quite thankful for the relationship I have with him. So look forward to that. It's going to be a good podcast. We're going to cover, it's trading talk and all the other talk that nobody wants to talk about. So keep tuned for that. I'll keep you guys updated. And anyway, guys, let's look forward to killing the markets this week. Peace.